achievements of the people of this area in the past are absolutely unbelievable. Not only their skill and their ability, but their courage. The men that went down the mines and risked their lives just without a second thought to try to rescue comrades that had been injured and killed. And I wouldn't want that to be forgotten, because their descendants are bound to have inherited that skill and that courage.
Coalisland actually has got a very bad deal. It has always been an area of high unemployment, even in the best of times. And then with the closure of the brickyards and the clay pits, the pipe yard, and also then the various different factories around that, Coalisland has had an increase of unemployment over the last number of years. It never had any full-time jobs regards public service jobs, so it was always dependent very much on local industry providing the local resources.
Our mission statement is to contribute to building a participative, inclusive and prosperous society in the Coalisland area by providing a social hub for local residents and community groups aimed at improving the quality of life within the area.
The residents had a forum good enough on meeting in various different houses in different estates, but the idea of bringing Western House into operation first of all was to, one, get everybody into one base, to try and actually have a one-stop shop for the various different agencies that could deliver the services for the residents of Coalisland.
Western House is our social hub. Provide an opportunity for various groups from the voluntary and community sector as well as statutory bodies to engage with residents at a local level. At the moment we have a number of initiatives such as House of Health, programmes targeting the unemployed, projects with a youth focus and a range of cultural activities as well as something for older people.
It's a 2-year programme, it's called Going Places. It's delivered and managed by Southwest College. It involves a targeted training programme for unemployed and young people who are no longer in education.
It's aimed at people that have been out of work for so long, and it's to try and get them back into work by getting their driving test.
Well, as a participant, I started off doing the engineering car modification course. That was to begin with. I learnt an awful lot from it. You know, got a few more skills there that I didn't have before from it. It has greatly improved the quality of my life. You know, it's allowed me to see that there's a lot more out there for me, and I can achieve a wee bit more.
I'm always interested in gardening and planting and just horticulture, getting all the plants planted up in the beds, just different colours. The public can come in and relax and see what happens and what goes on.
Salisbury is run over 2 nights. The first night is the newsletter, and the second night is the youth club. The youth club is run up in Gorgonis. It's all through the medium of Irish, so children from Gaelscoileanna in the area would be the children who would take part. But as well as that, we do have a few children who are very keen to learn Irish from the local English-speaking primary schools. So the most important thing for them is to learn a few words through Irish and doing that through play and enjoyable activities.
There's a lot that the local people would get from coming. It's a lot of it's intergenerational, it's cross-community, like both locals, foreign nationals, everyone would get the mix. Maybe, you know, even introduced into new activities that they mightn't have done before. And it's a good way to kind of encourage community involvement and taking ownership of Coalisland and improving the lives of people as well as the area.
So Western House basically was a trial as regards how people can work together and how you can develop services for the residents within it. It also gave them a base for meeting, to actually provide services and to deliver different services from other agencies under the Coalisland Residents Forum.
Western House has been a pilot scheme and it has built capacity with all the stakeholders involved. It has also identified the needs within the local area. Phase 1 of our new plans are to build a new community hub in Coalisland on part of the old clay pit site.
I think here in Coalisland is a perfect base for a new building because a lot of the population in this local area have such a keen interest in the Irish language.
The new community hub is an opportunity to provide a building which will suit small groups that maybe just need a little meeting room or maybe want to store materials and don't have somewhere to have it. And also then every so often those small groups like to run a function that will raise money or finances. Also thought the idea of a creche would come in as well.
Basically for to identify the needs that actually had to be represented within the new build and also a management structure which could deliver that and manage it for the future.
One of the longer term visions as part of phase 2 of the project would be to develop the entire clay pits into an exciting community, cultural, sporting and social economy complex.
The closure of the clay pits meant that we actually then had a very big hole in the ground really that had been left behind and a very derelict site which was dangerous and which needed to actually be developed further, and that's where we come up with a proposal for the public park using the facilities that had been left behind in the clay pits. So that opportunity is there at the present. The land can be bought. We're trying to persuade the council to buy that land, to at least hold it for the residents and for the community to develop a park which actually would be something on their doorstep. And also the possibility of including that there the collective community buildings and facilities like a health centre, the units that are be rented out to small business, SMEs, and also then providing 5 or 6 football pitches that could be used by the community, both soccer, Gaelic, rugby, whatever people want to actually play on them.
A crowd of us got together and we, through somehow or other, we managed to get the funding together and the voluntary help together to turn this derelict building into what it is today. And I think we're proud of it, and I think most of Coalisland's proud of it too. Our problem now is that we don't have enough room. We've been so successful, we need far more room than we have. And so there's talk about this development over in the clay pits, and there's some talk about a theatre over there, and we would love to be involved in that. It'd be fantastic if we could get involved in that, because then we could make it to our specification and as big as we want it. And so it would have more room and would be, you know, building the success we already have.
But putting together that sort of structure, which again on the same idea that you have one administration, but it'd be a phased development which actually could then have the consultation and the input of the community into how it's developed and what are the interests. You know, it may be walking trails, it may be cycle trails, it's the park idea, and also the fact that you have 2 ready-made lakes within it, which could be used for training people on the safety and the dangers of the water, but also training people around fishing and boating and the different facilities that they wouldn't normally have access to within this area. And making the site, which is dangerous enough at the present time, making that a safe site for the future and allowing people to develop it.